Hey up everybody, Magpie Gaming here. If you are new to the channel, please do consider subscribing and pressing the bell icon down in the corner to be informed of my latest videos. Good morning, good afternoon and good evening wherever you are on the planet. I hope you're all doing well. So we're still waiting for the next big patch for Escape from Tarkov. This is 10.5. We've already had one set of notes, and this is something that Battlestate games like to do. They like to release some notes and say, look, this is what might be coming in the game. And then maybe a few weeks before it we get preliminary notes like what I'm going to go through in this video. And this is them saying this is pretty much what you are going to get in the patch. And then a few days before the patch drops you will get actual patch notes, but the preliminary ones are usually very close to what you're actually going to get in the patch. If there are any changes between this and the main patch when it comes out, I will obviously do another video detailing those changes. Now I'm not going to go through every single point of these patch notes because they're pretty big, they're huge. I'm just going to go over what's going to be added, the mods and some of the improvements we're going to get, and I will list all of the other things on the screen as we go. But obviously the biggest one that's going to be added to the game this time is the flea market. Now they describe this as an advanced economy addition to EFT, adding the opportunity of free trading between players. Now you can offer any pre-examined items for sale and purchase any goods from other players. By leveling up your own standing, you can offer more items and get more additional benefits. The flea market system includes an advanced search engine, a wish list and other convenient features for easy use with the new system. A new encyclopedia handbook is available now. It shows already examined items. In the future the functionality of this feature will expand. So of course this is going to be one of the biggest additions to the game pretty much ever. It's as big as getting a new map. How it will change up how we play the game, I'm not too sure. I think that maybe you're going to be able to get hold of items that you would maybe have to quest for. Obviously you're going to pay a high price for those, but of course if you're one of these people that likes to really mod weapons and make them look insanely crazy and put really good stats on them, then you're going to be able to do that and then sell these weapons for money. So it'll be interesting to see how this changes the game. Then we've got the first iteration of player rankings. Players are going to be ranked, and I think they're going to have a section of the website where players will be ranked on there. So we'll be able to see where we are in the standings. I'll have to scroll all the way down to the bottom to probably find man, but I think it's a good little neat feature to put on, and it gives people a little bit of competitiveness to go against each other. We're going to have the animated food and med consumption animations put in. These are ones that have been waiting for quite a while. Just a little animation for when you do your meds or you consume food and drink within the game. These animations take exactly the same length as the medding and consuming does now, so there's no change in the speed or the length of them. So they'll just be a good addition to the game, I think. Bullet hits will drain stamina by different algorithm. A quantity of stamina taken depends on bullets, damage, a bulletproof vest presence and so on. So now taking damage is going to deplete your stamina. I'm not sure how this one's going to change the game. I think for me, I'm never going to have any stamina looking at that, but there we go. Ability to place player tags in a container in the stash. Now this one has been read wrong by a lot of people, but when you read it like you can see on the screen right now, the ability to place player tags in a container in the stash. So you think, oh great, when I get a player's tag I'll be able to put them in basically like a wallet and rank, stash them all up into one cell. It won't be taking over loads of cells. But apparently this is where Battlestate's game's English has fallen through, because what they actually mean by this is that containers in your stash you will be able to give them a name basically, but they say they call that tagging. So it isn't the ability to put players tags into a container, it just means that containers within your stash you will be able to name them. Seems like a benign thing to do really, but for those of us that have a lot of containers and we like to keep certain things in certain containers, then it makes sense. You can have a container for your M4s, a container for your FALs, container for your magazines, things like that, and you'll be able to name them as such. There's going to be new mechanics quests, Tarkov Marksman series, new quests for mechanics also. Not really sure on those, haven't heard too much about those, but new tasks are always welcome. We're going to have the MP7A1 SMG added into the game. Now this is going to be a top tier weapon. You're not going to get this unlocked until you have ranked right up, and it's using armor piercing rounds only. Now I've seen a video of this. If I manage to get hold of it I'll show it in the background, and it shreds through all types of armor. It's going to be one of these weapons that you're really not going to want to come up against, but you're going to really want to use yourself. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting weapon, that one. Rejoice for those with widescreen monitors. We have 21:9 monitor support coming in, which has made a lot of people happy, I believe. So yeah, new monitor support is always welcome. Blunt damage now depends on an armor class and bullet penetration ratio. Ergonomics is now calculated in a different way. Mods values are added to the characteristics of the weapons that they are placed on. The skills and armor penalties are still added as a percentage. The final weight of the weapon influences the characteristics of the ergonomics. Aiming speed, weapon sway, alignment of the line of sight, loudness of equipment, noise when aiming depends on the characteristics of the ergonomics. Basically what they're saying here is ergonomics hasn't really worked in the past. It's made very little difference to how you use your weapon, but now they're putting more emphasis on ergonomics and making it work more, so you're going to have to check that stat if you want to get the best out of your weapon. Then we've got all of these new mods. I'm not going to go all the way through them, but basically they're all Mosin mods for the game. A lot of people are not too happy about these. They think that the Mosin is overpowered and it doesn't really need mods. It's a gun that to be honest, I've got to be, I must have been killed about 5 or 6 times by this gun. Seems to be that a lot of people are getting absolutely wasted by it a lot of times, but I'm certainly not one of them. I haven't come up across it very much. The few people that I have, like I say, 5 or 6 times I've been killed, but I've probably killed people with a Mosin a lot more than that, and it was one of those weapons that you can only get in certain bags, so there's been a lot of times where I've just left it. It's not really worth that much in terms of resale value, but yeah, there's a lot of mods coming for it, so it's not a gun that I've really bothered with. But with all these mods coming, I might give it a try. Then we've got all these AI improvements, and they say an iteration of AI behaviour and shooting improvements. Now all AI behaviour should become more realistic and eliminate most of the cases where the AI behaves strangely. This should lead to an increase in the effectiveness of their behaviour as well as making it more predictable. The AI behaviour will be refined based on statistics and your feedback. So, and you can see the list of changes that are going to be made there. Now the AI that the Scav boss has and his minions that surround him is a lot different from regular scavs within the game, and I would prefer that the regular scavs acted a lot more like his minions. Whether they will do now with these improvements, I'm not too sure, but when you go up against these scavs, it is a genuine challenge to go up against them. I'm not saying it ain't a challenge to go up against other scavs, but generally you can quite easily take them out. But the scav boss and his minions is a different story, and hopefully maybe the other scavs will start to behave like them as well. Then we've got some fixes to locations, just general fixes to things on the map, nothing really worth going into. We've got some visual fixes, again, nothing too important to be honest. Then we've got some general fixes here. These are bugs and little changes that are going to be made. So you've got the statistics display correction, errors occurring while playing on the woods map, a bug that blocking interaction with weapons while changing weapons at the time of a grenade flow, etc, etc. Nothing too important. Then we've got some changes to the game. So quest experience amount has been increased, so that's a good one. You're going to get more XP for doing the quests now. Rebalancing of weapon mods, ergonomics and recoil. The price of some items, the cost of repair is changed. The first person helmet ricochet sounds are fixed. First person dying sounds are fixed. The first iteration of players' nickname censoring, we plan to improve it in the future. That's something that I've been wondering about recently, because there are some people with some very, very sick names on this game. So we're starting to see the censoring of that come in. A lot of people might not like that. It is a very adult orientated game, but yes, some names are a bit sick. Ready button on the screen after location selection was added. Now the action run and hold your breath are divided into different keys. That's been one that a lot of people have been waiting for a while. You can now change the dispose key assignment delete by default. Now it's possible to rebuild rifles later, and what this means is at the moment if you use the Mosin, you take a shot and your character will instantly reload that gun. They will instantly rebolt it. Now what will happen is if you shoot and you keep your finger down on the trigger, your character won't rebolt that weapon. So this allows you a better chance to look at your target to see if they're dead or not. So I think that's going to be a good addition. Obviously a character instantly reloads, so you scoped out, you lose visual on your target, then you scope back in and your target's moved. This way you'll be able to track your target and reload when you're ready to. Now it is possible to activate several actions set to hold. Breath is now an appointed on the left Alt button by default. Added a second column for key settings, now you can assign one action to several keys. Added lazy load of dialogues list for a large amount of dialogues, increase interface performance. Now when the preload pack is improved, the difference is equipment will be sent via game mail if the player already has an account. So that's a good one if you have a special edition of the game and you get freebies when they reset your account. Instead of you having to go onto the website and claim them, they'll now just be added into your account in game. In the weapons inspector, recoil info is now divided into horizontal and vertical, so if you want to really go into the detail, then that's a good one for you. And press packs are now equal to EOD packs. And those are the notes for 10.5. Now as I say, preliminary notes only. There will probably be some changes from these notes to the final ones, but I will do a video on what changes take place. But there's a good raft of changes coming to the game now. I do definitely feel like Escape from Tarkov is feeling like a more complete game these days. Definitely some good additions to the game. I'm expecting that when they do the update, there will be some game breaking things happen to it as well. The updates never seem to go 100% smoothly on this game, but yeah, I'm looking forward to this one. So as always, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching and listening. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Just ignore the banging, that's my daughter in her bedroom dancing to the Wiggles on Netflix. And I will catch you in the next video. Take care.